Hello, here is BB Walker. Welcome to my channel again. Today we are still with Yamaha PSRS 975, but we will be exploring some theoretical about the theory of music, the synthesizer instruments, and so on. And we will be exploring the ADSR, Attack, Decay, Sustain, Release. So this is the envelope generator, and I will show you how to use it and how you could use live knobs to control your voice in a real time and change the characteristic and so on. So if you are interested in, just give me a second and we will start soon. Alright, so we are in our super steady mode, a little bit to the left side because we will be using live knobs today. And you may also find on my channel the video for Yamaha PSRS 670 about live knobs, programming it and so on. But today I will show you some interesting settings of the live knobs that could be used to alter the sound, the envelope of the sound. Actually, what is the envelope of the sound? This, diagram shows you the 4 stages of very popular envelope generator, which is called ADSR. It was introduced by the legend, the Moog itself. And actually, in sound, the envelope describes how sounds change over time. And it may relate to many parameters like frequency, amplitude, or pitch. But this envelope shows you how it changed the amplitude, which is the volume. Okay, so the pitch is connected with frequency, and the volume is, the function of amplitude. The higher amplitude, the most louder sound you get. But if you put on an electronically synthesizer, produces by the processor, produces by the analog device, some kind of waveform. If you put the envelope on it, you can actually alter the sound. And how to achieve this? Because if super analog instruments like Arturia brute force, for example, you have only no presets and everything is set by the parameters like the knobs, sliders, and so on. So you can affect the sound. Also the Korg Minilog XD has this, old school way for creating the envelope. But mostly in instrument like this, you got the pre-saved samples. Not samples, because we are not talking about Rumpler. We are only talking now about synthesizer instrument, which was produced artifactually by the DSP, actually, because this is digital. Okay, so how you could use it? Let's change the voice for something with this logo of synthesizer, like for example this Decay Vintage, because it actually only works with the synth instrument. Please check the description about where I'm exploring this, the difference between the synthesizer instrument and the instrument saved by the samples recorded by mic and play as a Rumpler. But now we are talking about synth. So I have selected the Tune Vintage, which is pretty cool. It is a voice in the middle. It's not a pad, but pads are those instruments, the voices used for creating ambience and background in music. And the hooks, the lead tones, are used for, bass, melody, and so on. And depending on the frequency, the pitch, they also could be as a bass line or some, higher melody improvisation and so on. But let's go to live knobs. If you press a sign, you will see that you could use live knobs to control many parameters of the voice itself or the style in real time. For example, the first preset refers to voice and it's due a filter, and it applies to R1, R2, which is right 1, right 2. So if I press this, now I'm pressing the C and I'm not touching anything, but I am filtering it. The another knob, the knob number 2, controls the reverb, which is this, if you have a guitar with resonant box, it sounds different, like without reverb. So actually knob could be used to select the parameters that you want. It may be not seen, but I am changing it during the play using live knobs. Okay, so, but today I would like to show you the program which is by the default number 3. And it changes the voice, so the right hand, for example, right 1 or right 2, and it will change the attack parameters and the release parameters. And those parameters are nothing more like this attack and this release. So attack is a tempo when the sounds gets the higher amplitude. So the pad sounds like this has a very long attack because they need some time to achieve the peak. Then we got decay, so it's a little bit hook, a breaking down of the sounds where the amplitude changes its direction. Then we got sustain, so how long it long stay, and then we got release. So with sustain pedal, if you are talking about grand piano, the sustain, the release is long, and without the pressed sustain pedal, we get damper on the strings. If we talk with, if you compare it to real grand piano, so the release is cat. Okay, so let's forget about the theory. If you have any more questions, just give me a comment. Give me your question in a comment, and I will try to answer. All right, so let's go back to how these live knob settings, voice attack and voice release affects the sound. All right, so I will be playing this voice called Detune Vintage. Now we are in the standard north position, which is no altering the envelope that has been built in by the programmers, the producers of the voice. Let's give more release. You can slightly hear the difference. It has a longer echo. I mean, it's not an echo in the term of music, it's a longer release. The maximum. Very long release. So you get the same voice, and by altering the live knobs, you can change it, this characteristic, how it flies. And on the live knob number 1, we got attack. And attack is more interesting because it completely changed the purpose, everything with the sound. It completely changes. So let me show you the examples. Now we are on the north position, 0, default, attack. Almost going from this direction, which means short attack. This sound has a very short attack, so you can easily almost not hear the difference. But let's go back to positive values, increase the attack. And now let's hear the difference. So by combining attack and release, you could create a pad sound from a Detune Vintage synth sound. Now I will also change some things because this voice is polyphonic. It means it's monophonic. So if you go to voice set, you will see here that it's set to mono, and we change to poly, and then I could save my detune here. So I will save it again and overwrite in my user space again. So now I have the same voice, but with the polyphonic version, and it's now I mean, the old pad sounds is better to have a polyphonic. Why? Because it could be used to play chords. Alright, so give me a second. Alright, so now you can see the live knobs, because it's very important for you to see what's going on. The screen, the color screen is not so from this percussion kind of sound like piano, so you hit, you get this. You can easily go to something more like pad. Okay, so I could do it for hours. And the purpose of this video was to show you that even if your instrument is not a pure synthesizer, I mean, you don't have access to full envelope. For example, some very expensive digital workstation like, for example, Roland Phantom can show you the whole envelope, and you could, using these knobs, create and affect almost each parameters you want. In this Yamaha and the cheaper version also, using the live knobs, you could affect those two parameters, which is attack and release. Let's take a look, because live knobs is not only about altering the attack and release, the envelope. It is also could be used for many other things. So by going to assign, you can change all the functions that you have in here. As you can see now, there is a lot of things connected with filtering sound, so affecting how it, for example, we could use this program number 1, because you please check the description. There is a video where I'm explaining the live knobs programming, how it works. And the shortest version is that you have 8 programs, and on each program you get 2 possible settings that you can save and change it then. For example, now we are turning filter and reverb. So as you can hear, you get a lot of possible options to change the sound. The pity and the things that I regret is that you cannot have a lot of knobs, for example 8 knobs, and control all of them at the same time, because you only have 2 live knobs, and it is a very big disadvantage of this instrument. I mean, if you want to use it at the synthesizer, you only could select 2 parameters that will allow you to alter the sound. But in some conditions it is also interesting. For example, if you're using a looper and if you want to create your own voices, to alter them and to change them during the play, it is also of course possible. I understand what they don't give more knobs, because the Yamaha has its own line for synthesizers, like this Motif XF, for example, if I remember well. So basically they don't want to build one instrument for everything. But the reason why I have done this video is to show you that even with this instrument you could do a lot of fun with synthesizer, with tweaking sound, using knobs to change how the voices sound actually. So let's do at the end a quick review. What do we have in here? So we could change the attack, the release of two voices, right one, right two. This R1, R2 refers to right one, right two, so you could change the attack and release of two voices. But if you're using dual voices, you could, or maybe in some conditions you want to change only attack for R1 or R2, so you got three possibilities. So both them or only one selected. The same with reverb, chorus, and gate time, velocity. Gate time is nothing more like the time when the sound goes to the wave generator. You could also change the same things about styles, so you could also make some. You also have some effects on a microphone, because this has also a special path for altering microphone and built-in vocoder, and also I would like to make a video about it. So you can always, of course, use live knobs to change tempo, to change the volume, and filtering sound. Okay, so I think it's all for now for this video. If you have any question, as always, please give me a comment in the description under the video, and I will try to answer all the comments. I know there are several questions about style creator and parameters, and I promise I will prepare a video probably next week about it. I'm also planning to do a completely beginner lessons for using those types of instrument, because I have made a tutorial about the Yamaha PSRS 670, but it was at the very beginning without static cameras, so the quality of those video, you know, it's not a perfect, and I'm of course aware of it, and I would like to do it better with this instrument. But most of the knowledge that I will show you, which probably refers to this, is a general knowledge about sound creation, about the theory of music, about the theory of sound, which actually uses the mathematics to create the sound. So if you have any questions, just give me a comment. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel if you like it. Please give me a thumb up if you like this content, and see you later. It was BB Walker. Good luck.